Doc, please, can you introduce yourself to our great audience?
Okay, well, I want to start by thanking God Almighty for giving us life and health today, and also thanking your audience and your platform, for giving us this voice. Um, I remain Emmanuel EJIOFOR E, a lecturer in the Department of Economics, Faculty of Agriculture, University of Nigeria Nsukka. A businessman, a farmer, and a consultant in the field of agriculture. And by the grace of God, the founder, Dr. EJIOFOR OMEJE Free JAMB project in Nsukka. Thank you.
Yeah, my people, you can see Dr. EJIOFOR OMEJE with his introduction. He is a serving lecturer in the University of Nigeria, the biggest university in Africa. And today he's on this show for a reason. He's not in this show because of entertainment. He's in this show because he has been doing some things that is not ordinary for us as far as the society and the divide we come from is concerned, and we decided to bring it to global limelight. So Dr. OMEJE have been involved, his foundation have been involved in making sure that very brilliant young men, he started it in a low key from his community, Ibagwani, and later to the Nsukka local government. Now it's spreading all over, and thousands of people are beneficiaries already on this particular good gesture. And we decided to bring him up today. So, Doc, you're welcome to this show once more. You're welcome to the show, Doc.
Thank you very much for this rare opportunity.
Okay, I invited you. If not now that I started telling you the story behind what inspired us to invite you. Initially, when we invited you to this show, what was coming to your mind?
Well, this is not my first time of coming to your TV to talk about burning issues in our society. First, I thought it was about the ongoing election in the University of Nigeria Nsukka. On the second thought, I thought it was all about the politics around the environment. But I was surprised when you made me understand that you discovered I've been involved in motivating some young kids into academics, and that is where I belong. So thank you.
Okay, Doc, that's great. Thank you. Sometimes we don't discuss about burning issues. Let's discuss our very empirical way of moving our people forward. And that's why
Okay.
I chose the topic today. We rise by lifting others.
Okay.
We rise by lifting others. I borrowed this word from Davido. So, and I've been eternally grateful to Davido, and I became his fan the day I discovered he mentioned this word, and he has been living it out. So that endears me seriously to whoever is involved in that kind of attitude. It's not just about being a philanthropist. It's not just being about being generous, but tailoring the generosity in a place that it will create an indelible positive mark in the disposition of the recipient. So we made a research and we discovered that your foundation is doing this very important, especially in education, which is a very important tool, driving the young people to progress and for development. So, Bob, I want to ask you, this particular thing we're mentioning now, what inspired you into it?
Well, the truth is that Back in the days during my primary school days, precisely my primary six, uh, I came from the poorest among the poor, and it's an experience I don't want to wish even my worst enemy if I have one. And when I was about to write my common entrance, there was no money. I needed about 55 naira as at 1992 to enter for my common entrance exam. And I had to write to my maternal uncle, Mr. Boniface Obeta. He a renowned journalist at Oka in Anambra State. So luckily, I found somebody who was traveling to Oka through trackers then. So I wrote a letter. I I don't want to I don't want to talk about the content of the letter, but in summary, I wrote a letter to him asking for help that I was going to sit for common entrance and that the money was not there. So yeah, luckily two weeks after he replied, and I saw the envelope. When I opened the envelope, I saw 60 naira. In short, that was one of the biggest moments in my life. And I was able to enter for my common entrance exam and even had some change left, you know. And every day, each time I close my eyes to go to bed, I keep remembering that motivation. To somebody out there, 60 naira might sound too small, but it was a very huge amount of money to me. And I got motivated. Since then, I started having this feeling that no matter how little you can contribute in making somebody get motivated as regards this academic pursuit, just do it. You never can tell how long it can impact on that person's life. And I can assure you, that was just the only thing that inspired me to start looking at on how we can get our young ones to understand that we are also interested in their future, you know. And it's not about the amount. The amount might look so small to somebody else. But behind that, I have this feeling that if a young guy, a young girl, a young boy sees that somebody somewhere wants him or her to enroll for JAMB for free, that person, one way or the other, has to think that there is something very valuable, there is something very priceless in that venture. And that is the only thing that motivates us. And that is why I think that no matter how little it is, we have to motivate these young guys. Nothing more. Thank you.
Yeah, Doc, thank you for that. So I love that story because it looks like the story. Naturally, when you come to my show, I always ask you if you have a story that is behind your glory. But we don't need to ask you again because you've already expressed how 16 naira worth a lot for you. So we all pass through that, from that axis. But what is important in this show now, while we make reference to that, is that that could not stop us.
Yeah.
Today, you're an academic doctor, PhD holder, almost an associate professor. And so the 55 naira, 16 naira issue in the envelope could not stop. The 2 weeks it was that it took to use trackers and go to Oka and come back did not stop you. So in this show today, this is the kind of things we want to impact in the Gen Zs and the Alpha generation, that even though there's scarcity, even though there are challenges, they could not stop us. So the possibility that it will not stop them if you have that choice. So thank you, Doc, for inspiring us with this story. I want to tell you, how do you run this? What's the organigram? What's the administrative setup? And how does this? How do you get these people?
Well, in as far back as 2019, when this inspiration came, we started from my village, or let me say my town, Ibagwani. Ibagwani is in Nsukka local government in Enugu state, Nigeria. It's something very verifiable out there. So we started by preaching to the young guys, uh, not only about free jam. We discovered about this gap existing between the people in the rural area and the CBT, that is computer-based test exam that is being used for writing JAMB. So we organized a free CBT training for the people in the rural area. My brother, Mr. Uchenna, brought some good computers from his computer centers. We have to get a transport to take them those things down to the village, and we spent some days training those rural people on how to write CBT. And in the course of doing that, we also discovered that many of them were interested in furthering their education. So I took it upon myself. We started, and after that year for the community, we did it for about 3-4 years for my community before I started receiving some requests from neighboring communities of Waribo, Ibagweg, community with what I call double package, because we had to bring in computers from the urban area to the rural part, where we trained our young guys and young girls on how to use computer to write a CBT exam. And thereafter, we enrolled some of them in my free jump project. That was the first time we started in 2019. So 2020, the COVID, 2021, the COVID, and we continued that way until 2023. So when we had to expand to other neighboring communities in my ward, and it has been an awesome experience. I tell you, I love what I'm seeing. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out um, the criteria, the setup. How did you set up this organization? How did you set up this foundation? Because if it is not properly set up, um, it will look like something that's a joke and it will not survive till today. So we want to know how the organigram works and how you make the selection, how you reach out to these people and all whatnot.
I said that if you step it down from the founder and the director, we have project managers. Yeah, we have two project managers that are involved in managing the step down activities. Okay, okay, and from the program managers, we also have trainers. Yeah, I'm on it. So from the director or the founder to our project managers, we have two project managers. Yeah, Pascal Ungu and Kensele Chukwemeka, you know. These are guys, young guys who are also volunteers. They are not on payroll, and I think is very important. I state that very clearly. So these are young guys who share the same ideology with me. So they came into the project. We got them recruited, and they have been very vital in what we are doing. So the two of them are the project managers. They are the ones that have contact with the ones that are training the kids, and they are in charge of a selection of those that benefit from the free jam project. I don't have direct contact with the beneficiaries. It's only when I walk on the road, somebody would walk to me and say, I have benefited from your jam, your free jam project. I am so person. So I said, okay, thank God for your life. And most of them have good success stories. So the organogram is just as short as that, from director to the project managers, from project managers to the trainers, who also do the selection of beneficiaries.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's great. Okay, that's great, Doc. So yourself and the project manager, so you don't even meet with those people. All you know is that you believe
No,
the
no.
project managers, you trust them, you have confidence in them that they do the right thing, and
Yeah,
meritoriously they select those who will be beneficiaries. So that's a good
yeah,
organization, and that's a good rapport between the founder and the project managers. That's the insight. So, since you have been doing this, like how many people have benefited from it? And those who have that have benefited, where do they come from? If you can refer statistically to what you people have been able to achieve before us here, um,
well,
you know,
when we got started in 2019, the number was just less than 50, or I think 45. In 2020, we had up to 80. In 2021, we had 120. 2022, we had up to 400. Something happened. As at that 2022, many people started keying into the program, even those who were not qualified to write JAMB. So they saw the program or the project as an avenue to test run the waters.
Dr. Emmanuel EJIOFOR. For those of you who did not join us when we started, Dr. Emmanuel EJIOFOR OMEJE is a lecturer in agri-economics in the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Nigeria Nsukka.